Welcome back in. Today we are following major breaking news out of Tremonton, where 2 police officers were killed in the line of duty. We've got Sheriff Park live at the scene of the shooting right now. Sheriff, can you tell us what's happening right there?
Yeah, well, there's still a lot of investigating going on here at the house. Obviously, the crime tape is up. We've got windows that are broken out at the house, but we've got the Box Elder deputy who is at the hospital, the one that was involved and injured and survived this, and the canine that was also injured at a vet. But let's go out to Brian Carlson right now, who has been here since early this morning to walk us through the details of this situation. Brian, really heartbreaking, sad situation to have 2 officers killed in the line of duty here.
You know, for these people here in Box Elder County, that's not something they have seen, I don't think, in their entire lifetime here in Box Elder County. And for us here at home, not only are we seeing the house here where these officers are gunned down, but we're also seeing video that these neighbors took of the aftermath that occurred afterwards. And I spoke to that neighbor, at least one of them, who was the last person who may have talked to that first officer killed while he was alive.
This is how it looked last night, shortly after 2 Tremonton Garland officers lost their lives, reportedly at the hands of an armed gunman.
Upon arrival, they immediately began taking fire. They requested additional units and then stopped answering their radio.
Oh, I hear them smashing windows.
A neighbor now sharing with KSL video he took of the roughly 50 officers who came to help them. It started just after 9 p.m. Police say the first officer had received several 911 hang-up calls traced to this Tremonton neighborhood next to North Park Elementary. Neighbor Tyson Taylor tells me that he spoke to that officer trying to find who needed help.
And he just said, "Are you pushing the button for distress on your phone?" I'm just like, "No, I'm not doing that." So I showed him my phone, and then he just drove off around the block. He's like, "I'm just trying to find this distress call. I hope it would be an easy night," or whatever, just something like that.
Minutes later, Taylor says he heard gunshots and drove around the corner to find the officer still alive.
He was just on the corner, and I said, "Hey, I heard some fireworks," or it sounded like fireworks. He told me, "No, your neighbor on the corner is shooting his guns, and it's an active shooter right now." He says, "You need to go home and get in your home."
Moments later, Taylor heard more gunshots and learned the officer and a second Tremonton Garland officer were both shot and killed right there at the scene, while a Box Elder County Sheriff's deputy arriving with his police dog were both shot and injured. Brigham City Police now revealing the officers and deputy were responding to a domestic disturbance.
They really are unknown. We don't know what we're walking into, and they are one of the most dangerous events we can be dispatched on.
So far, unclear why the alleged gunman who lives at the home reportedly opened fire on the officers. But police say it was bystanders who actually convinced the man to surrender to the dozens of officers from Logan to Ogden who arrived shortly after.
Those acquaintances and relationships probably played a key role into that.
And that's one of the most amazing aspects of this story, is that those bystanders are able to convince the shooter to be able to surrender. Now, we know that that suspected shooter has been booked into the Box Elder County Jail on charges of aggravated murder. KSL is confident we know his identity, but we're waiting for police or the jail to confirm that it's him. Live here in Tremonton, Cher, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, Brian, so hard to hear all the description of what unfolded there. Well, let's keep our focus on these officers who were killed in the line of duty. You know, as the community wraps their arms around their families, around these police departments, the Tremonton Garland Police Department, but you're hearing today reaction from the community and from agencies around the state, right, as they step in to support this agency. We're hearing from different cities, different police departments. I wanted to read some of these statements that we've seen come out today. Sandy City Mayor Monica Zoltansky issued a statement today. I want to read this to you. The Sandy Police Department extends our deepest condolences to the families, friends, and colleagues of the 2 Tremonton police officers who were tragically killed in the line of duty. We also send our prayers for healing to the Box Elder County Sheriff's deputy and his canine partner who were injured. The senseless act of violence is a heartbreaking reminder of the risk law enforcement officers face every day to protect their communities. We stand in solidarity with the Tremonton Garland Police Department, the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, and the entire Tremonton community as they grieve this devastating loss. May this sacrifices of these fallen officers never be forgotten. And the Santaquin Fire and EMS shared this statement. You'll remember it was Santaquin. They lost Sergeant Bill Hoosier May 5th of 2024. It's a really bad day when a post like this must be written. 2 officers were shot and killed last night, and 2 others, including a K-9 officer from nearby agencies, were wounded. The men and women of Santaquin Fire Department stand and mourn with our brothers and sisters in Tremonton Fire and Police Departments. We know how you are feeling because we have stood in your shoes. This is so difficult in any department, but small departments, I'm sorry, it hits differently. We invite your thoughts, prayers, and support for the good people in these communities who have suffered such a devastating loss. I'm sorry, you know what, I won't apologize. I am not sorry because I am from Utah. And I feel for these communities, and I feel for these departments. And I work with these police officers. I may not know these 2, but I know the law enforcement community, and I feel for them too. So my reaction is genuine for these officers and their families, and I'm thinking about them today. So this is a hard day for Utah. This is a hard day for our communities, and it's a hard day for law enforcement. And I too feel for them. So Tamara, I'm going to send it back to you and collect my thoughts for a moment here. Because it is hard. It's hard. We lost 2 people here in Utah, senseless, and I feel for their families.
Absolutely, Shara. No need to apologize. You're certainly tapping into a lot of emotions that we're all feeling, so we appreciate your feelings and thoughts on all of this.